nje kama wewe ni mwanaume. Kuja tuonane kimasomaso. Nikutandaze nikung'oe meno yote. Kuja.
Utandaze mimi?
Sikuogopi, kuja.
Pole bosi, ni vile nilikuwa najaribu, ulisema tusionje. Sasa ngakumbuka nipigishe ukuta ndio itoke vizuri.
Unajesa na chakula.
Let's enjoy this happy day. Eid al-Mubarak, come on, let's celebrate. Eid al-Saeed, let's enjoy this happy day. Eid al-Mubarak, come on, let's celebrate, celebrate.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
Your head took a heavy blow and has somehow affected your eyesight. You may not be able to see things for now.
What were you doing in my room? As broke as we are now, what else is there for you to take from us?
Pinky, I beg you, please don't go back to him.
No matter with whom I fall in love, it has nothing to do with you.
If you insist on marrying her, then I'll have to cut ties with you.
Hear them a put one style when you are searching a pool. Soy real, ya no me pueden parar. Volar no es fácil. I wish I could stay high, stay high. Bend your back and then you do the stir fry. Twist the foot and then you do the stir fry. Do your rave as you find it, do the stir fry. And if you tap, then you walk again.
Uone ni kama kuna tumasarao naanza kuleta hapa kwa kasi yetu.
Nimefanya nini?
Acha mdomo kubwa.
Why are you frustrating this woman?
Hebu muulize.
Toka huku nje kama wewe ni mwanaume. Kuja tuonane kimasomaso. Nikutandaze nikung'oe meno yote. Kuja.
Utandaze mimi?
Sikuogopi, kuja.
Pole bosi, ni vile nilikuwa najaribu, ulisema tusionje. Sasa ngakumbuka nipigishe ukuta ndio itoke vizuri.
Unajesa na chakula.
Let's enjoy this happy day. Eid al-Mubarak, come on, let's celebrate. Eid al-Saeed, let's enjoy this happy day. Eid al-Mubarak, come on, let's celebrate, celebrate.
Your head took a heavy blow and has somehow affected your eyesight. You may not be able to see things for now.
What were you doing in my room? As broke as we are now, what else is there for you to take from us?
Pinky, I beg you, please don't go back to him.
No matter with whom I fall in love, it has nothing to do with you.
If you insist on marrying her, then I'll have to cut ties with you.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us here on Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi. Well, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up for you, and today being the day when Muslims in Kenya have joined the rest of the world in celebrating Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. Well, we shall be having more details on that, and to kick us off, we cross over where over 500 families drawn from the Somali community in Isiolo County have benefited from food donations to enable their mock Eid al-Fitr celebrations amid challenges posed by the tough economic times. The food channeled through the office of Isiolo Somali Council of Elders was distributed to needy families across 10 clans of the community living in Isiolo, mainly in Burat and Bulapesa wards. The food aid was donated by Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho.
According to Somali Council of Elders officials led by their Secretary General Aidel Hassan, the food aid will be enough to cushion the benefiting families for at least 15 days.
Tuko na furaha kubwa sana kwa sababu Joho Foundation imetuokoa wakati ile ilikuwa inahitajika, ndio imekuja wakati ambaye familia sasa wamewekewa jukumu kubwa, shule, mambo ya conflict, jilali, chakula kwenda bei. Sasa tumepata sukari, tumepata ngano, tumepata mafuta, tumepata mchele, tumepata tende, tumepata chumvi, majani, yani yale kitu nyumba angetumika.
Tunaomba watajiri na viongozi wengine wafate mfano wa huyu, waage mfano wa huyu, wapatie community ambao wako njaa wapatiwe chakula.
Adil noted that 55 needy families from each of the 10 Somali community clans living in Isiolo received the aid, bringing the total number of benefiting families to 550.
Saa hii ni wakati ya Ramadhani, watu wengi ni maskini. Kwa hivyo kwa wakati hii chakula kuletea watu kama hii ni fursa kubwa sana. Ni vitu mingi sana. Hiyo familia ikipata kama hiyo inaweza tumia kama kwa siku 15 hivi. Kwa hivyo which ambaye ina push kiasi na itasaidia sana. Tunasema asante sana.
Meanwhile, in Mandera, at least 500 families have benefited from assorted foodstuffs distributed by KCB Foundation in a bid to have a nice Eid al-Fitr celebration.
Alitupatia sisi na Wajir branch chakula ya watu 500 kwa sababu ya ukame mingi ambaye imekithiri area hii. Watu wengi wamefariki, mifugo yote imeisha.
Speaking while distributing the assorted food, KCB Bank manager in Mandera County, Abdi Rashid Yunis, noted that the assorted food will aid residents in coping with the drought situation in the area.
KCB Bank imetoa hii chakula ili iweze kupeana support ya ration kwa hizi familia ambazo hazina uwezo wa kujimudu katika makali ya njaa. Kwa hivyo katika Ramadhani hii tumeona tufurahikie na wao, na vile vile pia tuweze kupatia fitri ambayo watakula siku ya Eid, na vile vile pia familia zao ziweze kufurahi kama familia zingine ambazo zinafurahi katika Kenya hii.
Say thank you very much. This was successful. Everybody is happy. The needy ones in Mandera in particular are very happy. We hope this trend to be continuing in the future.
Each resident will receive assorted food comprising of 12 kg of rice, 5 kg of sugar and a 3 litre of cooking oil. Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
Muslims in Kenya have joined the rest of the world in celebrating Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. The Muslim faithful congregated at various places of worship and open grounds for morning prayers with messages of peace and political tolerance dominating the occasion.
Allah. Nairobi's Asa Ali Muslim grounds. Muslims turned up in large numbers to celebrate Eid al-Fitr festival, marking the end of Ramadan. The Muslims leaders present here calling on Kenyans to be peace ambassadors and to shun divisive politics.
We pray that Muslims, the Muslim Ummah, play their role in the society in ensuring that peace prevails during and after elections, to ensure that we Kenyan have an opportunity of electing the leaders that we want.
The congregants welcoming the festival that falls on a restriction-free period compared to the previous year where gathering was banned owing to the COVID-19 pandemic.
People used to pray at home and now we are allowed to pray in the masjid, so alhamdulillah, I'm happy about it. Let's not forget that sadaqah does not decrease your wealth, and give as much as you can. Wallahi, Allah will bless you triple. Sadaqah triples your income and everything you do.
In Nikuru's Menengai High School grounds, the message of peaceful coexistence resonated here too. Residents calling for peace and tolerance ahead of the general elections.
Waache kuongea mazungumzo ambayo yanaweza kuleta utata. Wakiwa na tofauti zao, ni bora waitane. Wakae chini kwa pamoja, wazungumze mambo yao, watatue. Lakini wakisema kwamba kila mtu akiwa na hasira, kila mtu akiongea anaongea kwa hasira, haya maneno yao yanaweza kurudi nyuma yakatuathiri sisi.
In Kilifi County, the Muslim faithful expressed their gratitude for finishing the month and celebrating Eid together with the rest of the brothers countrywide.
Tukue na amani, tufanyeni kura kwa amani, tuwe wamoja.
And Muslims in Isiolo County gathered in several mosques to celebrate Eid, even as religious leaders called on the residents to embrace peaceful coexistence among the several communities living in the cosmopolitan county. Finally, in Mandera County, the faithful gathered at the Jamia Mosque grounds for prayers, even as calls for peaceful campaigns ahead of the general election took the center stage.
Tusiweke kati ya watu wale viongozi wanagombania chuki na vita katika Kenya yetu. Tunaomba Kenya iwe salama salimin, tutulize wananchi, tusipeane maneno kali ambayo inaweza leta, wazizushe maneno mbaya ambayo inaweza leta vita.
Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Eid Mubarak to you and your family. Excuse me. Now, meanwhile, Turkana Central, a member of parliament, and United Democratic Alliance governor aspirant John Lodepe has condemned a Sunday incident where 9 people were injured in a highway robbery near Kainuk Trading Center. Speaking during a Thanksgiving service for UDA candidates who won the just concluded nominations in Lodwar, which was also his 50th birthday celebrations, Lodepe condemned the incident and called on the government to deploy adequate security to prevent more attacks. 3 passengers and the driver sustained serious injuries and were rushed to Kapenguria Referral Hospital, where 5 others who were in the 14-seater Matatu heading to Lodwar from Kitale are receiving treatment at Kainuk Dispensary. Lokamal, who served as a police officer for 14 years before joining politics, said he would work with the national government to address insecurity in the region.
Serikali ya Jubilee, tafadhalini sana muondoe wakora, kwa sababu biashara itaharibika na vita itaanza kwa wakati ambao tunaenda election.
Nitakapokuwa seneta ya Turkana, nitahakikisha kwamba structures iko sawa kati ya national government na county government, kuwekwa structures ambayo itaguide wakaji wa Turkana na wale majirani.
Now, on matters politics, Kakamega County Senator Cleophas Malala, who is now aspiring to be Kakamega governor, has hit out at the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party, saying it has no plans for the Western electorate. Speaking while campaigning in Lugari constituency, Malala implored on Kakamega voters to vote on William Ruto because he has promised the region 30% of his government. Meanwhile, Helen Nkaiseri, widow to former Interior Cabinet Secretary, the late Joseph Nkaiseri, has been appointed by Jubilee Party to spearhead Azimio presidential candidate campaigns in Kajiado County. Let's take a look.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade in Kakamega County, led by the gubernatorial candidate Senator Cleophas Malala, took its campaign to Lugari constituency, the backyard of Ayub Savula, who is seeking the gubernatorial seat on DAP Kenya ticket.
Na Mheshimiwa Savula, kama sisi watu ya Mumias mkimpata mwambie bado sisi tunalia.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade hitting out at the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party, saying it had no plan for the Western Kenya vote.
Sisi watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi tunaenda kupewa 30%. We are going to have 7 ministers. We are going to have 12 PS. We are going to have 15 CAS. We are going to have 185 heads of parastatals. Sisi tumependa kuomba wale mandugu wetu ambao wanatuambia wako katika Azimio, watuambie ni nini ya Mluya iko katika Azimio.
We are putting our competitors on notice. One, we don't want a violent campaign. Tafadhali mkawaambie, because wale mnanipiganga vita kwa mtandao na waona tu hapa, but nawapenda kwa moyo wangu wote, kwa sababu najua ni kutumwa.
Na mimi kazi yangu nikiwa Women Rep Kakamega, nitakuwa nanong'onezea mama na mwambia watu wa Lugari wanataka pesa ya biashara. Na yeye anaambia William Ruto anapigia waziri wa Treasury, anaambia panga huu Women Rep wa Kakamega, patia yeye pesa pelekee watu wa Kakamega. Sasa itakuwa sawa.
Meanwhile, Helen Nkaiseri, widow to the former Interior Cabinet Secretary, the late Joseph Nkaiseri, has been appointed by Jubilee Party to spearhead Azimio presidential candidate campaigns in Kajiado County.
Azimio walipiga darubini Kajiado na wakaona ya kwamba mimi ndio naweza, na ninajua kwamba kwa ajili si jambo geni kwangu. Mambo ya kucampaign na kutafuta kura ni kitu ambayo nimefanya kwa miaka ambayo iliyopita.
In Narok County, investors inside Masai Mara Game Reserve have been assured of safety of their businesses after change of guard after August elections. Speaking at a rally in Aitong, ODM's gubernatorial hopeful Moitalel Olekenta said no business will be harassed by his regime.
That we are going to give you a wonderful working environment. But we are telling you this, we'll work with you. But 80% of the workers in the Masai Mara lodges must be the local community.
Elsewhere, the Nambale ODM parliamentary candidate Kevin Okwara has challenged his competitor Geoffrey Mulanya to join hands with him and work as a team to deliver votes for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party presidential candidate Raila Odinga.
Mimi ningependa kumuomba kwa sababu uongozi huja na hata mimi nilipewa. Ningependa kuomba kwamba yeye ajiunge na mimi tuweze kujenga chama cha ODM.
Mulanya, nimemaliza process yote. Tarehe 9 nitakuwa kwa ballot kama independent candidate.
Gishoki Washira, Lunchtime News.
Still on matters politics, a section of leaders drawn from Kajiado County has called for peaceful coexistence among different communities residing in the county ahead of the August polls led by former Kajiado Governor Dr. David Ole Nkadianye and Kajiado North Member of Parliament Joseph Manje. The leaders who had joined their Muslim brothers during Ramadan celebrations in Bulbul, Ongatarungai, urged locals to embrace unity while cautioning leaders against politics of hate and Division. Manje, who is serving his last term as Kajiado North Member of Parliament, hopes to serve as Nkedianye Deputy Governor. Nkedianye has intensified campaigns on a Jubilee ticket to unseat the current Governor Joseph Olelenku in the upcoming elections.
Area hii watu huwa wanakaa vizuri sana. Waislamu, Wakristo wanaishi pamoja bila kuchagua dini, bila kuchagua kabila, na hiyo ndio tunataka kufanya. Wakati huu vile mnasikia, sitakuwa mbunge mwaka ujao. Kwa sababu tulikaa chini tukiwa na former governor, tukaona ni vizuri tuje tuokolee kaunti yetu.
Nataka tuombe katika kaunti nzima tushikane na tukatae siasa ya ukabila. Siasa ya kusema ati watu wengine wakae. Sisi sote tuko pamoja. Sisi wote makabila yote tuko pamoja, ni lazima tuheshimiane, na kabila hii inapewa shikilia hapo, kabila nyingine shikilia pale, Wamasai ndio pia wanashikilia hapa. Tukitembea namna hiyo tuheshimiane, hii kaunti yetu itaenda juu zaidi kuliko kutenga watu wengine.
Well, that report brings us to our first break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
As campaign intensified for the upcoming general election, what does all this mean for you, the voter? What do the candidates have to offer? How prepared are agencies charged with the election process? Join John Kuria and Safina Chieng on Kenya Decides. This and every Tuesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 as we unpack elections 2022 with a panel of various stakeholders. Make informed electoral decisions.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Wani ni kama kuna tumasarao naanza kuleta hapa kwa kazi yetu.
Nimefanya nini?
Ili wake mdomo kubwa.
Why are you frustrating this woman?
Hebu muulize.
Toka huku nje kama wewe ni mwanaume. Kuja tuonane kimasomaso. Nikutandase nikung'oe meno yote. Kuja.
Utandase mimi?
Sikuogopi, kuja. Pole bosi, ni vile nilikuwa najaribu, ulisema tusionje. Sasa ngakumbuka nipigishe ukuta ndio itoke vizuri.
Unajesa na chakula.
Welcome back. Still on Eid celebrations across the country, in Mombasa, the faithful gathered for the morning prayers at Ronald Ngala Primary School grounds, where leaders called for peace and tolerance during the electioneering period ahead of the August poll. Area Kadhi Hamad Kasim led the Muslim faithful in celebrating Eid al-Fitr to mark the end of the month-long dawn to dusk fasting.
Ujumbe wetu tunaomba umoja, tunaomba heshima, tunaomba udugu na tunaomba furaha, hususan wakati huu wa siasa. Tumesema hatutaki kujenga chuki. Kwa hakika chuki haijengi, chuki inabomoa.
Wasia wangu kwa kila mmoja ambaye anajaribu kushindana, ni nchi huru, ni sehemu ambayo kwamba ni huru, lakini pia tukumbuke kwa Mombasa ni mji, tumekuwa na amani, watu kuweza kuridhiana, watu kuweza kuishi kwa pamoja kwa muda. Kwa hivyo tutaomba hizi campaign tusiwe ni wenye kuchafua mji.
So na sisi wote kando ya kuwa ni ndugu moja, bado pia ni watu wa nchi moja. We all are Kenyans and there is no two ways about that. We cannot tomorrow wake up and say mimi sasa hii nchi we are divorcing. We will not. It shall never happen. And therefore, whatever we do, let us just be respectful. Let us observe always decorum as we play our politics. It should never be politics of division, politics of hatred, name calling and what have you, because this almost is becoming the trend. We are appealing to everybody. Tuwe watu watulivu, tuwe watu wa amani, tuwe watu wa udugu. After all, this is our home and we can never have another home, and therefore it is incumbent upon us to protect our home with all that we can.
Na kila mmoja mwenye kujaribu kusimama katika kitu chochote, tusijaribu kuchafua mji wetu na Kenya yetu kwa jumla. Harama na yale mambo tutakuwa tumeweza kuyafanya kwa sababu ya maneno ya kutupa katika majukwaa, kuitana majina hivi na vile. Uza sera yako, mwingine uze sera yake, na kama huna sera ya kuuza, jaribu kuuza sura. Kama huna sura za kuuza, omba Mwenyezi Mungu upate hizo kura zako. Asanteni sana.
Tudumishe umoja. Alafu na jambo la pili ni kusema kuwa Ramadhan iliisha. Leo ni siku ya sikukuu, lakini haimaanishi kuwa ibada imeisha leo. Tuendelee kufanya ibada na tumuogope Mwenyezi Mungu. Asanteni, Mungu atubariki.
Sasa kama tunavyojua, tulikuwa katika mwezi mtukufu wa Ramadhani, mwezi wa ibada na mwezi wa kila aina ya sadaka ambazo tulikuwa tutatoa. Kwa hivyo tuomba Mwenyezi Mungu azitakabalie sadaka zetu, na pia tuomba Mwenyezi Mungu aijalie nchi yetu kuwa na amani, tuwe na uchaguzi ambao utakuwa wa amani na furaha. Yoyote atakayeshinda aweze kuongoza nchi hii kwa misingi ya demokrasia na dini kama ambavyo imekuwa hapo awali. Asanteni.
Nawaomba watu wa Mombasa tushikane pamoja. Siasa si chuki, na wakati huu wa siasa unakuja, wakati wa elections unakuja, tunaomba kwa tufanye elections zetu kwa amani na kwa busara, na tuchague viongozi ambao wataleta maendeleo hapa Mombasa. Hii mambo ya kuletewa ndazimu kuwa viongozi tuache pia. Assalamu alaikum.
Eid Mubarak from the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Now we move on to a different story where at least 40 passengers escaped unhurt after a bus they were in burst into flames along the Kisumu-Nairobi highway near Boye Trading Center. According to eyewitness accounts, the bus, which belongs to Guardian Bus Company, was heading to Nairobi from Busia when one of its rear tires caught fire, reducing it into a shell. Firefighters from Kisumu department rushed to the scene and put out the fire, but the damage was already done as the passengers' luggage was also reduced to ashes. What was remaining of the bus was later towed to Kisumu Central Police Station, with Kisumu County Police Commander Alphonse Kimathi indicating commencement of investigations into the incident.
I only heard of a burst, like kind of a tire burst at around 4 a.m. And as usual, I thought it was a lorry because I felt like it shook even my heart. But little did I know that it was an accident. I was just walking up there's an accident, a bus caught fire.
Ilianza ikashika moto, ikalipuka. Sasa gari yenyewe yote ikashika moto. Gari ikachomeka. Mizigo zikachomeka zote, lakini bahati nzuri abiria waliponea, wengine walisaidia wakatoka kwa basi. Moto ilikuwa kubwa. Tulijaribu kunyunyiza maji lakini ilisindikana.
And on health matters, a section of health experts in the country want the government to set aside more funds to deal and combat mental health illness among Kenyans. Led by Addiction Prevention and Rehabilitation Association of Kenya chairperson Boniface Ndirango, the experts said heightened political tension coupled with skyrocketing cost of living is the major contributing factor to high number of mental health issues in the country.
Health experts have warned that the culture of denial and silence which surrounds mental health issues in the country could only make things worse if measures are not put in place to curb it.
If they don't get any intervention, we are likely going to find ourselves in a situation whereby people and the economy generally gets affected.
And it's also good for people to be honest with themselves, to be self-aware when they feel like they've reached the limit, so that they can reach out for help.
We're beginning to see that there's called love addiction of people who are compulsive and obsessive about their loved ones. And these are characteristics that people need to know. They assume that this is love, but in real terms it's an obsession.
Speaking in Nairobi during the official opening of Genesis Rehabilitation Center, the health expert said there's need to address challenges leading to depression among Kenyans, including high cost of living and joblessness.
For me, I remember I started taking alcohol at the age of 4 years. I didn't know myself, but I was able to come to terms and understand this is addiction and I need to get out of it.
When I was in rehab and many other rehabs that I've visited since, you find people referring to themselves as inmates, which gives the sense of like we're in prison and we're in, So even in the naming, we are Genesis Retreat and Wellness Center. Because that's what we want to embody. We want to tell people that, listen, you can come and you can recover in dignity.
With drug and substance abuse topping the list attributed to the rise in mental illness among Kenyans, the experts are now appealing to the government to set aside enough funds to deal and combat mental health illness among Kenyans.
Allocation of resources to really address the issues of drug and substance abuse, that we can have, just as other sectors get to have enough budget directed to issues of mental health. And because it's a fight that the professionals cannot win alone.
Lucky in the UK because the access to mental health and secondary care in general is a lot more developed, and we're hoping that here in Kenya this can become the norm as well.
Ben Chumba, Lunchtime News.
Victims of banditry in Baringo have called on the government to step up security to ensure normalcy prevails in the area. In a recent attack, 3 people were killed after armed bandits attacked Ngaratuko, driving away 80 livestock.
Victims of insecurity in Baringo North have decried lack of food after they fled their homes following persistent attack from armed bandits from neighboring Tiati sub-county. 3 people were killed recently when bandits raided Ngaratuko area, driving away over 80 livestock. Residents are now living in abject poverty with nothing to feed their families on after their livelihood was disrupted by insecurity, leaving them with nothing to depend on. The locals from Ngaratuko, Yatia, Kagir, Chemoe in Samio Ward and Baringo North are now appealing to the government to bring back normalcy in the region to enable them continue with their regular activities.
Tunaomba kwamba muende mwambia serikali na hisani yote wako na uwezo hata wasongo ngambo huko wajaribu kusaidia watu ya area hii.
Yati Assistant Chief Jackson Keitan said more than 300 households are facing hunger after their livestock were driven away following persistent attack in the region.
People are littered all over. Watu walitoroka. It affects, in my sub-location, affected almost 10 villages with about 380 households with an average of devoted population of 2,280.
Joan Chemutai, who distributed food to the locals, also appealed to the government to immediately salvage the situation in the region to restore the livelihoods of the affected families. Elvis Otieno, Lunchtime News.
And in the sports arena, Arsenal reclaimed fourth spot in the Premier League after they defeated West Ham 2-1 at London Stadium last night. Now, this coming in a La Liga, Barcelona beat Real Mallorca 2-1 at Camp Nou to end a run of 3 home defeats in a row in all competitions.
Arsenal knew only a win would lift them back into the Champions